Hey guys, today we are going to be filming a video about the enclosures for our animals. We actually have a few new animals since our first video, so you'll get to meet them. And that is all.
We have 23 animals.
We have about 23 animals that are in enclosures, and then the rest of them, obviously, like we have
3 cats and a dog.
Yeah, we don't tank our cats or our dog.
Sometimes I put my dog in an aquarium, but he doesn't really enjoy it.
Fit, usually. We can just go ahead and get right into it. We're just gonna be pretty much touring all of our tanks.
And we'll also be talking about like what we had them in right when we got them, and then we'll be showing you like what they've upgraded into.
Yeah, a lot of the things aren't in the same tank they were before, and we'll just tell you, where they started, why they are where they are now, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Okay, enjoy the video. Okay, so first we're gonna start with our 2 animal shelves. We have a metal one and then a plastic one. And we've got them both at Home Depot, I believe. So this is where the majority of our enclosed animals are, and I'm actually going to start at the top of this one. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna start with the tarantula. We just got this guy a couple days ago. So he is in a little plastic circular tank. As you can see, we got it from Petco. He has a little hide in there that it doesn't look like he's going to use ever, because he actually built his web on the outside, and he obviously is going to spend the majority of time on his web. We have mulch in there for him, and we also have the water dish, and in the water dish is some sphagnum moss, and that is in there, one, so he doesn't have to get into water to drink it, because they really just sip off of stuff besides getting water from the humidity. The humidity has to be pretty high in there, about 80%.
Next we have our sulcata tortoise tank. This is our sulcata tortoise Maui. We got the name suggestion from somebody who suggested it. As you can see in this tank, we have a hide over here, and then we have 2 lights inside of the tank. So one of them provides heat, and then the other one provides a UVB bulb. Sulcata tortoises, they need a source of heat and UVB in order to survive. Right underneath that light, you see a heating rock. He lays on that sometimes to bask.
A few other things about this guy. Obviously, as you can see, he had fallen asleep while he was eating. That's why his eyes are closed, and he daydreams. So cute. And also, one more thing about the water. You want to make sure it's shallow enough that if they accidentally tip over on their backs, they don't drown.
And then for food, you need a dish. We feed them just like a mix of greens and hay. Their diet's mostly supposed to consist of hay and grasses, but we just mix it in with the lettuce and the strawberries. And then we also have that water dish over there in the corner for them to soak. You also need to soak these guys probably twice a week in warm water. For the bedding in here, we have sphagnum moss and cypress mulch. And we have him, of course, as you can see, in a National Geographic tank with the top off so we can dangle the lights into the tank so he can get the proper heating he needs.
Okay, so here's our ball python Jasper. He's basking in his light right now, but I have this big hide in there so he can fit his entire body in it and just feel safe whenever he wants. I have this log so he can climb around it when he's out at night and active. And then we have this water dish that's big enough for him to fit his entire body in for when he wants to soak during the shed or when he just wants some hydration. And they also drink out of it too. We have cypress mulch for the bedding, and we also have some fake plants to simulate, wildness.
These are our Pac-Man frogs. This one's name is Clover, and this one's name is Shamrock. I don't know why we named them that. One of them is obviously way bigger than the other. We keep these guys in 5.5 gallon tanks with just regular lids. They both need a water dish for them to soak their bodies in. And then for the bedding up for these guys, we use EcoWorth, and then we use sphagnum moss to give them some humidity. I have like a small cricket keeper. I use this as like a hide for him. It keeps the humidity in instead of using like a regular cave. So I shove it full of moss and he loves to go in there. Right now, as you can see, he's soaking. They love soaking themselves in their water dishes. And then this guy, he just has a regular log. As you can see, he's out right there. And yeah, he spends most of his time in his log, and these guys are just sit and wait animals. So they wait in their hole until prey comes in front of their face, and then they go for it.
So this tank is for... So this is our 40-gallon tank for our white and our brown hamsters, salt and pepper. The reason they live together is because when we adopted them, they lived together, and the previous owners said they never had any problems, and we didn't want to separate them because we didn't know if that would cause them any sort of stress or anything. So we decided that they were okay together. We have 2 running wheels in there for them both to be able to run at the same time. And then we have a little play toy and also a water bottle and their little food dish in the corner. And that's really all you need for hamsters. They have aspen bedding and they pretty much sleep when they're not running.
So these are our 2 hedgehog tanks. We modeled them pretty much the same. So for these hedgehog tanks, we have these 2 hides here. And then we have their food and water dishes in the back. You can also do a gerbil water bottle, but we decided to use a bowl. And then we have these 2 giant wheels. We used to have them on the wheels that were kind of flat to the ground, the saucers, but we liked these a lot better because they were able to run a lot faster without falling off. For the bedding in these 2 tanks, we use the aspen bedding as well. They seem to like that. You can do felt bedding, like felt blankets, lots of other things. Another thing we have in these tanks are these 2 PVC pipes. You can see this one right in. Oh yeah, that glare is not really letting you see it. But we have these 2 PVC pipes. The hedgehogs like to go inside of those and sit in those and sleep. They really seem to enjoy doing that. The hedgehogs are both. One of them likes to hide back here, and then the other one is in there. Again, you can't really see it. You can see her spikes a little bit. Yeah, so for these guys, they're mostly sleeping during the day, so you won't see most of them during the day. But at nighttime, they just run and run and run on their wheels. And that's why we had to move them out here onto the animal shelf, because we used to have them in the bedroom, and that kept us up all night.
This is our scorpion Onyx. His tank you saw in the first video. We have a similar water dish like the tarantula. We put the moss in there so he can just sip off of it instead of getting into a puddle of water. He is actually right up here. Boop. We have all those fake plants in there so we can hide and also feel like he's in the wild more. And of course we have this PVC pipe, and he actually goes in there a lot too. And then we actually also use Eco Earth for him. He gets fed crickets every once in a while, and ever since we have put his tank in a darker area, he's actually become a lot more active. He's on the counter just so you guys can see all of the stuff inside the tank.
I'm taking a break from showing you guys tanks to spend some time with Kenai. He feels left out, so I decided to come lay with him. He's my best friend.
What the hell?
Alright, so this is our baby axolotl Oogway. It's actually short for Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. We have her or him, we don't know for sure yet, in a 10-gallon aquarium with a sponge filter in the back. We keep this fake floating plant in here just as some coverage, just so it doesn't get too scared. And then we also have this cave hide right here. That you can kind of see that it goes into when it gets a little scared. I think we have a bare bottom because as a baby, it can pretty much eat about anything. It can suck up sand, gravel, anything. Even as an adult, I guess, it can eat the gravel and stuff. But you want to keep that stuff out of the tank until they're big enough, because if they ingest too much of that, of course, it could clog them up and it could kill them. So we just have it bare bottom until it's about 5 to 6 inches, and then we will switch it to a sand bottom. Up here you see we have a fan. These guys have to be at a temperature of 60 or below, so we try to keep it cool by having this fan. It actually does a pretty good job. And then we have this light up here. We just have that on just for the purpose of the video. So axolotls don't usually like light. They like it pretty dark so they can hide and do other things.
Focus. Thank you. Okay, so this is our fiberblade toad tank. We actually just did a setup video of this about 2 videos ago, so you probably have already seen this. This is Kiwi right here. Crypto and Jade are hiding in the back somewhere. But anyway, we have rocks at the bottom, pretty much just for looks. And then we have this and the lily pad for them to sit on. They can also swim under or, you know, just hide wherever they want. It's pretty simple. They are also in a 10-gallon tank. And the reason that we have mostly water in there is because they are semi-aquatic, so they like to have this area to swim in and around.
All right, so moving on to the tanks that we have in our bedroom, featuring Rue. All right, so next we have our other ball python. This is actually a banana ball python. Her name is Chiquita Banana. We just featured her in our last video that we had. And we have her in a 40-gallon breeder tank with a red light and a white light. The red one's for nighttime, and then the white one's for daytime, but we just have both of them on right now just for video's sake. So we have 2 hides in here. She likes to choose between the 2. So most of the time she's actually in this tree hide, and then the other hide we just have this little cave. We have some fake plants in here that she likes to hide in and do some hunting, and then we have a water bowl that she can fully submerge herself in. For the bedding in here, we use a cypress mulch. Ooh, looks like she's hunting right now. She might be hungry, so we'll have to get her something to eat here soon. But yeah, so that is our other ball python tank. We have this one on top of our dresser in the bedroom.
So these are our Crested Gecko tanks. We actually just made a video about them as well. They are both hiding somewhere in the leaves back there, so probably won't be able to see them. But we have the fake plants hanging, and then we have some fake logs. We have their food right over there, water up there, if you can see it, suction cup to the walls. These 2 tanks are vertical, and that's because they're climbing animals, so they would rather be climbing and be up in the vines instead of on the ground. Here's the other tank. The one that's in here is a comet, and then this one is garnet. And again, they are hiding, so you probably won't be able to see them, but they are in there, I promise. We have a grow light up top because we do have a real plant in there, but also just to help with the day and night cycles for these 2 guys. And on the floor, we actually have a reptile carpet that you can purchase at a pet store. And since they're like never down there, it really doesn't matter what you have on there as long as you have something that they can crawl on. Otherwise, that's it.
All right, guys, you might be wondering what's inside this middle tank here. We have this tank set up for a green vine snake that we will be getting here in the next couple of weeks. We just wanted to get the tank ready for it because we're just overly excited. So that's what this here in the middle is. So Rue, should we describe your enclosure? So her in this tube here, this is where she spends all her time. She's not allowed to come out of the tube, so she kind of just chills here. Rue, say hello. No, don't be shy, Rue. Say hello. You're such a pretty kitty, huh? Rue, I think you have a guest. What are you doing back here? You better get out of here. Alright, so this is our snake, Opal. She is a Brazilian Rainbow Boa. It's out hunting as well. We just have the lights on right now just for the sake of the video, but these guys really don't require any lighting. For the bedding in here, we just have sphagnum moss and eco earth, and we just have like a pothos plant growing down the middle of it just for some extra decoration. It doesn't seem to bother him any. So here we have a water bowl. He was just soaking in it, so it has a little bit of moss in it, but this water bowl, you'll want to be big enough for them to soak their whole entire body in. They like to spend a lot of time in their water bowl. And then back there we have like a cave hiding area for him. He spends a lot of time in there too. Seems to be that they spend most of their time either hiding or soaking, but right now we've caught him at a good time. Let me see if I can get some cool videos of him in his iridescent color. That's what's cool about Brazilian rainbow boas, is they have that cool iridescent color. As you can see it, a little bit with the light above. This light is not that good for this, but you can kind of see it there. Say hello to the, oh, he's shy. Okay. We have her in this tank just because we had her in a 20 and we also had her in a 40, but it seemed to just stress her out to have all that space, and she seemed to just spend most of her time hiding. So we decided we were going to try to switch her to a smaller tank. Now, as you could see, she was out and about, so it seems not to stress her out as much having her in this smaller tank.
This is the cage that we have our Chinese dwarf hamster Sushi in. She is actually right up here currently. Let's see if she'll get a better shot of her. Hello there. Stashing all your food up here. Oh, maybe this is where you poop. Sounds good. Cutie. Anyway, so you might be wondering why we have duct tape around this. First of all, it's cute. Second of all, when we got the hamster, it actually came with the cage, and it was kind of a faulty cage. But since it's still in one piece, we didn't want to get rid of it, so we just wanted to put the duct tape around it to make sure, you know, it didn't break and it didn't get out and go hide somewhere where we couldn't find it. But anyway, we used the aspen bedding for her as well. We have a little toy in there. It's a little igloo, and then it's food dish, which looks like it likes to make a mess as well. But yeah, you've probably seen these every time you go to your local pet store. They usually have this exact tank with these little tube doohickeys, and of course we have the wheel for her to run on at night. Okay, so this is the tank for our new red-clawed crab. He doesn't have a name yet, so if you guys want to give us name suggestions in the comments, that would be great, and we'll pick our favorite one. But we have the light off because it kind of looks cooler with just that light on. But anyway, so in here there's a little pile of crap, and that is actually not crap, it is bloodworms. We just fed him the other day, and we're just gonna leave him in there for a little while and then clean him out after they've gotten old and he doesn't eat them anymore. But the water level is at this point because they breathe air, so you just want to make sure that they can use their structures to get out and breathe. And they actually like, you know, these little sized tanks, so they don't get stressed out in a big area. He'll come out every once in a while, but for now we'll just leave him in there so we don't stress him out, and we'll show you in our new animals video that will be coming up. This water is also filtered, and we have rocks at the bottom because you can pretty much have whatever at the bottom for their substrate.
Alright, this is our beta tank. This beta, his name is Frog. I don't know why I named it that. It's just kind of weird, I like it. We have it in one of those drink container things. We thought it was kind of a clever idea, so when we clean it, we can just drain all the water out the bottom. So yeah, so this is our beta, Frog.
Here is the second beta. This one is Indigo. He's hiding in there somewhere. Oh, there he is. Can't really see him, but he's up there. And he is just in this little vase with a fake plant and fake roots coming at the bottom. So in our first video, we actually had 3 betas, but sadly the third one, Virgo, actually passed away. We're not sure why. It passed away after one of the water changes, so it might have just been too much of a change in the water for it or something, but it actually did pass away since that video was taken.
Kenai was sad that he wasn't in any of the shots, so he asked me to pick him up and put him in this one. So say hello, Kenai. Say hello to the camera. Say hello. Well, that's about it, guys. You saw all of our animals. Well, that's about it, guys. You saw all of our animals' enclosures.
Thanks for watching so much. We really appreciate it. So did the animals. So did the cats and the dog, even though they weren't in it as much. They weren't the stars of the show, but that's okay.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe and leave any comments in the section. And then make sure you hit the like button.
Turn on your post notifications so you know when we upload a video. we upload at least 2-3 times a week for sure. So watch for those.
And have a good night.
Or day.
Or day, whichever one it is.
Or
for you.
afternoon.
Or that's so many options.
Yeah.
Or sleep.
Yeah, if you're watching this in your sleep, damn.
Then you really need to make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.